Wow, what's that? Man, we back again. You hear me with another episode of Controversial Conversations Podcast, episode 7. Man, you here with Los Angeles Street Vlog, J Beast, and Boot Boy. You hear me? Man, look, y'all grab y'all popcorn. We about to have a good show. So without no further ado, we're gonna jump straight into it. First topic of the day is escalating executive trade and stock disclosures. Okay, so the House passed a Stop the Insider Trading Act. High volume trades by top officials face severe backlash. Corporate executives face stricter SEC rules and public filing mandates. You hear me? JB Suzanne, you want to talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah. Basically, what's been going on is all these politicians who got insider information, they've been using that information to capitalize and make millions of dollars off of it. So, like, say if you look at Nancy Pelosi, even though her salary might be $200,000 or something as a senator, her her net worth is over $100 million, which is kind of crazy. Apparently, like somehow she's like the best stock trader in the world. So that's what people is looking at is like how these politicians is making so much money off of stocks based on the policies they putting in, against companies, like the AI policies or tech policies against all these companies. They get to capitalize off of that with information that the public don't have. So it would be great for the information for people to like the public to know what type of trades that the politicians are making because that way it would be transparent and we could see what basically what they are doing.
Okay. Boo Boy, you got something you want to add?
I mean, yeah, he got a good point. I feel they be booking a lot of, pocketing a lot of this money and hiding a lot of the facts from us and give us very little. So, transparency would be a good idea in this situation. The more we can see and feel more comfortable and aware of what's going on, the better off we can survive these random events that's coming up. Man, at the end of the day, I feel like most things are pre-planned and they just want to check our reaction. But that's just my opinion, But to JB's point, yeah. When it comes to that greed, I feel like there's a lot of people pocketing and a lot of people not seeing what it was supposed to. So transparency should be good in this situation. That's all I like.
Okay. Say JB, man, do us a favor, man. Talk to us about the stocks a little bit, like the way that, like the direction that the stock market is actually going.
It's going down right now. And what we see right now, we in like earnings season. So a lot of these big companies is uh, doing all their earnings reports. Like as of right now, it's so much stuff going on with politics and the war. It's hard to even say where to put your money. Like the best place to go is like safe, the typical safe havens. Not really with tech stocks right now because they got the AI bubble and the AI fears and all this stuff going on with tech. So it's like Coca-Cola, like tobacco companies. That's all solid stuff whenever the markets is kind of hectic how it is right now. Or if you want to invest into the war and make money off of that, you could always invest in defense stocks like Lockheed Martin or one of them.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I think too, man. I think like the big wigs, man, the big wigs basically was illegally earning their money. So I feel like uh, we see when Donald Trump put a lot of people on blast about tax cuts and the stock market and all this stuff. All he was doing was exposing the loopholes that they use. You're, the only difference between the people, the big wigs and regular people is they know the loophole. You hear me? Donald Trump came into the office exposing the loophole. So if somebody tell you what the loophole is and a way to go about it, that's your chance to use those loopholes. I don't feel like they're right, but I mean, if they gonna profit from it, why the black community can't profit from it? Yeah. Anybody want to rebuttal on that?
Nah, I
Okay,
think you
okay,
got everything.
okay. Well, with that being said, we'll move on to the next topic. You hear me? What matters most, the will of the citizens of a country or the will of the leaders of a country? Meaning the wants of the people or the wants of the government. What matters most in a country? Uh, I start off because I got a short explanation. Like, man, I feel like it's supposed to be the people, but if you know politics, it's gonna always be the big wig. It's gonna always be the leaders. That's who's gonna do it. That's who. Whatever they want is what they're gonna push. Yeah, we vote. But man, look, talk to me. Y'all really think the votes matter? Y'all really think people watching that people is the votes that you put in? Do you think they really been counted and they really accounted for and matter? You don't see how many voting scandals they have whenever it's election time. Man, the people do whatever they want. They manipulate us into feeling like we got some type of control. In actuality, man, we have zero control. The people do what they want. The most control you got is the things you do in your life. The things you do in your day to day. That's the most control that you got. Man, ain't nobody got no control over them big wigs, dog. Hey, Boot Boy, talk to me.
I mean, y'all can hear me good.
Yeah, you good, you
Yo,
good.
all right. I just wanted to make sure, but I feel like in some sense of what you're speaking on, like yeah, we ain't got no control when it comes to that voting thing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, to the topic of discussion, big wigs is what's gonna matter before us. It's more important that our opinion should be what it is because we are what the economy. We the reason why the economy flow. But at the end of the day, we all know they make the rules and we play by. It. So they go to show you who opinion really matter when it comes to a lot in this world. You know, I mean, it ain't much we can really say or show. Like history is history, man. So never did matter to me. Your opinion really don't matter to them folks. They calculate that as a overall summary of okay, this percentage of the population think like this, while the other percentage think like it's just data for them. They just put that in the notebook. But yeah, that's really what I got for that, my guy.
JB, talk to me. I talk back.
Yeah, bro. Man, it's hard to say because I don't think that maybe the average person don't realize the mindset of a government official, like of a president. Like, just our lives is completely different. They have the mindset of we have to do X, Y, Z for the entire country, and they want to put the entire country above other countries and strategically put us as a nation in certain situations. Pretty much every country wants to do that for their nation. And sometimes it might be stuff like what we got going on, where we go into war and stuff, and nobody quite understand it except the people in power. So it's kind of a mix because sometimes the decision to go ahead and go to war actually works out in our favor, and sometimes I say in most times it don't. I say a lot of skirmishes and stuff we got going on around the world, but people don't even know about. Might be for no reason to help a whole, a different country. It's a lot of stuff like that that's going on that like the people in power is putting, the country in those situations to maybe, look for something to pay off 20 years from now, to work on like a deal where we get so much oil at a certain price 20 years from now. You know, a lot of that stuff be going on, and us as, people just living in the country, living our regular life, we don't actually realize the bigger chess moves that's going on. So, but yeah, that's my take on it.
But even if we did, JB, even if we did, what would it matter? How could we change it?
That's true. I don't think we really can change it because like you said, all the data they collect, they got the money to and data to actually put behind their ideas. Like that's really how lobbying works. It's like people with billions and billions of dollars put forth an idea to sway other people's ideas, to sway opinions, and it's all psychology. It's stuff people don't even realize is going on. So truthfully, we might
Manipulation,
not have it.
manipulation.
Yeah, so it's truthfully we might be voting for stuff we don't even realize our minds was swayed and pointed in that direction to vote for.
So in other words, you telling me we basically caught up in the matrix.
Not exactly, cause so I could use the example how they was around election time. This it was more popular back then, but I say during Trump's like first term, and you'll probably still see it now around election time on just about any YouTube video. You'll see a lot of comments like swaying, saying like putting one party down while uplifting the other party. It's really all bots. It's really all AI. It's not even real accounts. But they'll have hundreds and thousands of comments on millions of videos just to try to sway people's try to sway people's opinion by saying, making it look like the mass actually agrees with something that they may not, but the whole thing is all fake.
Right. See, that's what I think too. Remember when the Trump and Kamala election took off, right? That's why I was hello, she's so gorgeous. I mean, what's up? She's so gorgeous. But yeah, though, so look, you remember when like the Kamala and Trump election, right? Uh, that's the reason that I didn't vote for Trump. You hear me? I didn't vote at all. I'm gonna be honest. My wife voted and her friends voted. I didn't vote, but and this was before we was married. But the reason that I would have, if I did vote, I would have voted for Trump was because Kamala didn't have a good. She didn't have a good plan. She wasn't telling me what she was gonna do. And then I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna get a little personal. Kamala don't know how to fry chicken. You can't trust no black woman that don't know how to fry no chicken, dog. Real talk. You if man, listen to what I'm saying. A black woman can't fry no chicken, man. Look, you better trust her as far as you can throw her. Hey, but that's how I feel, though. What you think, boo?
I mean, you kind of fucked up about, because at the end of the day, she might have been raised in a fucked up situation, so you can't put her under those stipulations. You can always teach her, and if she don't grasp it, then hey, you wash your hands with that. But nah, man, to the point, I kind of agree. what was all going on. Like Beast kind of got into depth about it, and it ain't like when it's all said and done. In my eyes, there's not much we can do. We only the experiments and like the data's collected so they know what to do. But I just don't feel it's right that we gotta play. We gotta be victimized for their game. You know what I'm saying? When we live in this country too. So we the reason why y'all got the money to do what y'all can do. If everybody say fuck that, we got the mindset of surviving homeless or going back to tents like they used to do
Hey,
in the
Lane.
biblical days. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Lane.
You know what I'm saying? What's up? But
Let's watch
yeah,
what
if
the
we go back to the oh my bad, I got you. But if we go back to the biblical standpoint of life, you know what I'm saying, we could dwell in those tents and survive. But if my point was, if everybody go to that and say not going to work, not abiding by the rules, and then that all that will crumble because of our service. Every department, every business, every company, every situation, they thrive and the dollar and the profit and the ideas is off of our back, our labor, our ideas, our way of life. That's all profit for them. America is a corporation first before a country. It's all about business. That's what keep this thriving. That's what kept this on so long. Screwing over the little man to be the bigger man at the end of the day. So that's really all I got on that, my guy.
okay, okay. I a little juicy topic. And man, you started off, boy. Tell me what you think.
Well, in my personal opinion, I know a lot of people won't like what I'm gonna say, but when it comes to interracial relationships, I come from the biblical standpoint, and the biblical standpoint was a no-no. Let those be those, and us be us. We get within us, they get within them. You know, the yeah, you can fall in love or might be attracted to anybody, but it all falls back to the base of understanding and everybody's focal standpoint on religion. Because if you see it from the standpoint of everybody was divided, then that means you got a God and I got a God. But if we unite, we got to share a God. And I don't think neither one of our gods would be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So from when it comes to that, I come from the biblical standpoint. It requires too much for me to put into your culture, you put into mine. Because some things you just won't understand not being a part of that culture. You can see and you can say you understand, but if you never experienced certain things, you would never really understand what that ethnicity feel or go through or deal with when it comes to certain aspects of life. So yeah, that's my opinion on that.
All right. What you think about it, JP?
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with uh, interracial. It's kind of actually that I kind of come from like some interracial, not directly, but like my grandparents, they were gr- grandfather was white and grandmother was black, so that's kind of where I actually come from. So I'm kind of open to it. Like I don't mind it. Different cultures. And kind of how Boo Boy said, you attracted to who you attracted to. Yeah, yeah. I'm attracted to all races. All ethnicities. So I can't really do nothing about what I'm attracted to.
Right. Well, I think on my end, man, I feel like a person can be with whoever they want. You know what I'm saying? I remember my dad telling me a story a while back, right? My dad born in 1947, so around like 1965, he had went to the army. You hear me? So he was like that was his first time leaving the state of Louisiana. So he had ended up in like I think he was in like Seattle, Washington or something. And he was like that was the first place he seen a white man, I mean a white woman and a black man. And you know, by him being from Louisiana down south, it was like a weird thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's just the stigma from that people didn't really usually get down like that. Like that it wasn't normal. You know, like depending on where you from is normal. But then if you look at Louisiana, we Creole. We Creole. Everybody up here is light skinned damn now. You know what I'm saying? We all mixed. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact in my family, on my mother's side, we actually have white members down the line. You know what I'm saying? On my dad's side, my grandmother was an Indian. Like if you see my grandmother and my grandfather, it looked like a slave and an Indian got married. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm okay with it. Now what would I choose? I chose to I chose what I felt that I wanted for my life. You hear me? Like regardless of like what people would think or whatever, I told what I felt I wanted for my life. So I think that's what everybody should do. Yeah, I think that's what everybody should do. Whoever make you happy, whoever hey look, whoever can make you smile when you feeling down, that's who you should choose. You feel me? So that'll lead to another question, right? If you was with a person of the same race, all right, you openly dating. Let's scenario the question. You openly dating, right? But you openly dating with a person of the same race and a person of the opposite race. The person of the opposite race treats you better. The person of the same race is just a better physical fit, meaning appearance wise, it look better. Let's say that the you a black person, you dating a black person, and you also seeing Asian woman. It just look better when you and a black woman together. What you gonna choose? Me personally, I'm choosing a person that treat me better. I'm choosing a person that listen to me when I talk. I'm choosing a person that check on me when I'm not talking. You hear me? That's what I'm gonna choose. What y'all think about that? Talk to me, G.
Yeah, man, pretty much the same thing. Like you said, I'll choose the person I'm most comfortable with. Like if I'd have clicked with, whatever Asian girl, if I'd have clicked with an Asian girl, that's just who I'd have been with. But it didn't happen like that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm open to it. I mean, I'm with a black woman. I'm married a black woman. But like I said, at the time, I'd have been open to it if that's what I'd have clicked with.
Boo boy, you got something else you want to say?
I mean, like I say, y'all, people gonna do what make them happy, sure enough. But if we coming from a spiritual aspect, I wouldn't. If it came between an Asian, I'ma fix my broken black queen. That'd be my journey, my mission, my goal. That woman can easily fill a void, but yet still be misunderstood at the same time. So now you build a void in her. You know what I'm saying? Now it's no, I'm gonna stick to what I understand and know. That right there is out of my atmosphere just off a base of feelings. Logically, it's gonna be a problem because we don't fully understand each other and we never will. Physically and emotionally, we might match in departments, cool. But that's human nature. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I ain't going. I'ma stick with my black queens or my Mexican or my Hispanic queens or my native queens. That's my point.
Hey, that not that I ain't cutting in, but that's still interracial, bro.
Hey brother, and that's cool, but I mean that's my perception. I mean I don't have nothing against nobody. I just don't agree with all things for myself.
Okay. So anybody got anything else on this?
No.
Okay. Man, let's get
Pretty
into
much.
let's get into a broader topic, man. Standardized school tests. All right. So look, I got a couple facts about this. Y'all might not know this, but when it comes to standardized school tests, and if you got a black child or any child of minority in school, all right, standardized school tests, it encourages teaching to the test. It narrows the curriculum. It disadvantages low income students and biases results. It causes severe chronic stress and mental health issues. You hear me? What y'all, all right, so that poses the question. So that means that the government is still trying to limit black people to education, right? Why would the government want black people who have integrated so many things in this world and who have integrated their level of innovation into this world? Black people have created so many things, dog. And when Black History Month come, you look at the creation list for black people, black creators who invented things. Why would the government wanna wanna cripple that? Why would you want to try to stop that? If black people have been some of the most inventive people in history. JB's talk to me, man.
Yeah, like you said, the to me, it's all like a statistical thing. They want to put black people lower than everybody else. Like some of the questions that they put on there, like about wildlife and those types of activities that's not taught in school, but you would mainly learn in a white household, is put on the test so the white students can have higher test scores than a black kid, because black kids don't normally go out and hunt and fish and learn about all this different types of wildlife and different types of trees and stuff. That's not typical for the average black kid, but most white kids, that's the culture they live in. So by them adding those types of questions into a test that's not taught in school, that's the only purpose for it, to lower, and it's like a trickle down effect. So now you got lower test scores from the black kids, and then whenever they go and try to get a job and they competing against somebody that's white, the white person is always gonna have like an advantage in that way. Like on average, they're given an advantage, like basically like a free space on a bingo card. So that's how I look at it. Yeah.
Right. Boot ball, what you think?
I mean, I feel it's the system, man. In every aspect of life, the oppressors, if y'all agree or disagree, been oppressing us from childhood. It's always been a disadvantage, and we gotta find our ways through the surface, the cracks to the surface hole, and compete with 90 million of them when it's just 1,000 of us. You know what I'm saying? Because all of us don't make it. So it's always been strategic play against us to keep oppressors in position. Because once we see the play and we understand and we can really get foot in the world, you can no longer oppress us, and there's the fear. It's greed, envy, and jealousy when it comes to all this. And I feel once they see and show and is understood, we can take charge of our own way of life. Then they lose they way of life. So yeah, that's really what I got on it.
Right. You see, and that's what I say. I say like look, why you want to put a black kid at a disadvantage when he already at a disadvantage? When there's a black man, you hear me, from the point that man born to the point to the day that he is not on this earth anymore. His life is a struggle. No matter what type of privileges he may seem that he have. Hey, I like some movies, right? Because they make good points. They show you things. A black kid can grow up in the suburbs with a white kid. You hear me? You have a run-in with the police, you get the same treatment as a black kid that grew up in poverty. You hear me? It don't matter about where you from or where you grew up. Once your skin is black, dog. Hey, look, if any black boys out there hit this, or any parents of young black boys hit this, man, listen. Make sure that you teach your kids to obey the law. Don't let your children be no gangster, man. Listen, that's the game that they make us play in order to get us in the system. They make us play that game to get them in, to get us in the system. Look at this, the standardized test, what we talking to you about right now. Is a setup, is a setup, you hear me? Is they make you play the game to get you in the system. Yeah, they make you play the game to get you in the system, and then it's like they stunt your growth with school. They don't allow you to reach the level that the other kids can reach. You know, I mean, the black kids can go to Ivy League schools if the schools only taught them and gave them the opportunities. Once you go to when you in school and you got black skin, you not even thought of for Ivy League opportunity, man. For the brothers that do it, they gotta work 5 times as hard. They gotta work 20 times as hard. They gotta put in 20 times the effort to the point to where they almost lose their social self before they make it to where they trying to go. That's why we call them squares, because in the community where we come from, we don't see it that way. But if black people understands all the setup, they put us they pin us against each other in order for it to seem like we couldn't stand each other. What they saying is, if a black person died, if a black person passed away, it was probably another black person that did it, right? So what they're showing you, they trying to pin us against each other. They allow some black men and black women to make it out. And for the ones that still in, they try to pit you against each other for you to envy these people. But in the world that we live as black people, it should be no envy. It should be no envy. If everybody wanted the best for the person on side of them, we would conquer, we would acquire world peace. My bad. Like y'all, you know, I'm trying to get it out and explain it. Like this is like all right. I done been through the prison system at a point, right? When you go to your first time going to prison, before they got camps. They got prisons, penitentiaries, and they got camps in Louisiana. Your first time going to you can go to a camp. The first time you get convicted and you go to jail, they're going to take you to hunts. Once you get convicted and you have time to do, they're going to take you to a place called hunts. Elaine Hunt. When you go there, they're going to fingerprint you. They're going to take like DNA samples. They're going to take a hair sample. They're going to take every identifiable DNA forensics that they can get from you. They're going to store it in their system. So when you see what they're doing is they expecting you to go out there and commit more crime. So they taking all your DNA, your forensics DNA, all this. So when you commit a crime, it make it easier for them to find you. So you know how whenever a person get a whole fresh batch of cattle or pigs, what they do, they grab each one of them one by one and they brand them with a hot iron. That's basically what the prison system do. They gather everybody up, get them on some bullshit charges. They take them to prison. They gather all their DNA samples, and then they send you back out into the world. So whenever you do something, we can spot you without even having to find you first. We can find out that it's you that we looking for. So that's the reason that the school system is corrupt, because they don't want you to be smart enough to understand this. They don't want you to be smart enough to know this. They don't want you to be smart enough to see their manipulation. They want to keep you in a they want to keep you in a place the way you think, oh, it's just your luck. Man, you know how many people out there, kids out there, dropped out of school because they couldn't pass these tests. They couldn't pass these tests. They couldn't be who they needed to be in order to finish high school. And you know what they doing? They living in a neighborhood thinking that selling crack is the only way. Thinking that selling Fetty is the only way. Thinking that robbing and hurting people is the only way. And people talk about them, but you gotta understand these kids wasn't taught nothing. This is the only life that they know. Man, you know how many people I know was living in a neighborhood, hustling, uh committing crimes, you hear me? And they wasn't doing it because they was trying to be bad people. They was doing it because that was their day-to-day life. That's how they knew how to live life. You hear me? Why is that? Because the schools give up on them the schools give up on them too fast. You know what I'm saying? The schools give up on them too soon. You know what I'm saying? They don't take time with the young black kid. You know what I'm saying? They gonna kick him out of school. They gonna send him to alternative school. You hear me? What's that? What's that? Yeah, what's that? Thump, I see you. What's that? Patricia? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why y'all gotta teach y'all kids, dog, as young black kids. All parents should teach their kids. You hear me? But I mean, as young black kids, teach those children. Teach them how to survive in the world. You know what black people do? And I ain't talking about all black people. I'm talking about the ones that's lazy and don't put down. They have kids under circumstances that they shouldn't. They don't have a job. They don't even have a place to live. They living with their mothers. They out there having kids, you hear me? Then they not raising these kids. Then the years pass, these kids grow up, they release these kids into the world and they don't know nothing. You hear me? They don't know nothing. They releasing these kids into the world and they know nothing. So what happened then? Now the world gotta show them. They gonna learn the hard way. You hear me? Yeah, I hate to say that. No, because that's kids, but at the end of the day, the Bible says if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. You can't raise your child just for you. You gotta raise your child for the world. You hear me? That's like if you teaching your child how to drive, you can't just show them how to drive. You gotta teach them to drive for them and everybody else on the road. Because what about the people that ain't paying attention? Your child can avoid an accident one day. You hear me? Like, hey, we talking about man, we really talking about standardized school test thump, you know. But I went off to explaining about how the schools manipulate the system and give white kids and other kids of other races a way out better than they do black kids. Nobody don't sit there, man. Your little black child, nobody gonna sit there and take the time that they will with little Adam or little Bob. Nobody gonna do that. Little Steve, the special attention he get to make sure he learn, man, Willie Jr. ain't gonna get that. Little Leroy ain't gonna get that. You hear me? Little Tyrone ain't gonna get that. That's why I'm trying to tell you, you gotta teach your child. A parent is meant to provide and take care of a child, but you also supposed to teach this child. Man, you know, I went off a little bit, but look, I'm gonna pass it. You know, anybody else got something they want to add?
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot you were discussing, man. There's a bunch of areas you could play on that, but when it comes down to it, I say this: the system is corrupted all the way around the board, starting with the school system, because that's not teaching you nothing but how to work a 9 to 5 job and implement you into society. And the kids ain't really bad. They just got nothing to live up to, nothing to look forward to besides being a gangster. That's the only thing that gets you notoriety and gets you recognition, the negativity in life. These kids be doing great things and they go unnoticed because it's let's sweep that under the rug. There's a lot of kids that ain't out here gang banging, ain't out here living crazy, but they quiet and they don't because these people hush they voice. They don't want to acknowledge their accomplishments. But let me go shoot up, let me go pile up the corner or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all in the world news. Everybody across the states know me because of something I did way in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's crazy. You promote the negativity but the positivity. And we know why, because it's based off of the corrupted system. I said it in the last argument or topic. Louisiana is America is a corporation first. It's business based. Oppre- it, Let me ask you this, LA. Who you really feel in life is considered the oppressors of the people today, our people today, in your opinion?
Man, hey, listen, everything I just said, and then listen to what I'm about to say. I feel we have no oppressor today. Because if the parents empower these kids, who can they oppressor be? If we empower each other,
But
who
these
can our
kids, you're right. But still at the same time, you got to understand these kids can be empowered as much as they want. A lot of these folks don't understand and see the systems that's put in place before us, son. Because the way your mom and daddy raised you, you had to adjust to the world you became adult in. Because the ways and the days they knew, the world shifted since COVID, brother. So the shit they apply, the things, I mean, the stuff they apply to your life didn't even matter because now you gotta adjust to a new world. And by the time our kids,
disagree? Everything my father taught me in life came back around full circle. Everything that man taught me is the reason I'm able to survive in life comfortably today. You hear me? That at the time I wasn't listening, but years later it resonated with me. You hear me? Yes, Lord.
he gave you a basic structure of survival, sure enough, but you still, even with that structure of survival, you still just say you went through the prison system yourself. So it doesn't matter how much structure, how much power, how much you embrace a child gonna only thrive off of their survival, off of their community. Whatever it is to survive and whatever it is that they see the world doing to get by, that's what them kids gonna adapt to. We don't have enough men in the neighborhood showing these kids different aspects of life. You can't. I'm not saying you blaming the mom or you said the parents, and you're right. I agree with that. You got to take these parents got to take more control and just giving these kids something major to look forward to and not just on some basic push. But the system is already corrupted, so these kids is going. A lot of these kids gonna fall. Only a handful gonna make it. And to your point earlier, if the ones that do make it, they gonna have to change to fit in that system. They're not gonna be who their parents raised because they see and understand the basics of survival and surviving in the corporation is different. Surviving in the thing we call America, this business that's different than just the standard basic life. I want a house, I want a car, I want to be comfortable, a pocket full of money. Them folks not playing them games because they see that shit don't matter to the real people that's running the world. It's bigger than just cars, clothes, money, and hoes. Life is a whole lot bigger than just us. That's why it's a foot on our neck in every aspect. It don't matter how much you empower a child. You was empowered yourself. And look what you had to go through to get where you at. He gave you the tools to
Listen,
get back. When you find
my,
yourself, hold up.
my
When you
teachers,
find yourself, huh? What you say?
my teachers had nothing to do with me going to prison or going to jail or whatever. That was my choice. But
But
whenever I
that's what I'm saying.
back
That
on
just gets back to my point. That's the point I was about to make. That was the point I was about to make. He gave.
when I went go ahead, go ahead.
Nah, you just get. It's a little slight delay. I already had to mute my mic. You can make your point.
Nah, my teachers had nothing to do with me going to jail ever. My what my teachers helped me once I matured and understood that I already knew the right way. I already knew what to do. I resonated with the things I was taught. It started to come back. It started to make sense. When I was younger, it didn't make sense. I felt like, damn, my daddy always on my ass, dog. This nigga don't give me no break. Like, why he always on my ass like that? You know what I'm saying? Back though, it started to make sense. Once I ended up in jail, now I'm in up one time, two times, three times, four. I'm like, what man, what's going on? What's going on, dog? What I'm doing? Something that my father used to always tell me. It just started echoing in my mind. Then I'm going through the dictionary one day. It say the definition of insanity is repeating the same process, expecting a different outcome. I was like, damn, I'm damn near insane. Then that's when I started to listen to my teachings. Ever since I started to listen to my teachings, God bless, I ain't been back to jail since. You know, you gotta go ahead.
But that's the point I was about to make at the end of the day. You see, you interjected thinking I was blaming your teachers. Your teachers had nothing to do with your decisions, meaning no matter how much they empowered you and embraced you, you still made your decisions. My point that I was coming back to was to say they gave you the guide to come back. Once you find yourself and you come back, you know this is the basic standards of what you understand to be life. Now, yeah, what he taught you as far as work ethic and all that applies to how you survive in the world because you know those standards and those things that's needed for that. But he couldn't teach you the things you do now. Your father didn't teach you the way you make money now. Your father couldn't teach you that. Your father was a different type of money maker, but he gave you the basic understanding and comprehension. This is the blueprint set for a certain lifestyle. Don't matter the decisions you make. If you ever find yourself again, this is what you got to do to make it. And that's really my point I was going to get. But that's all I got on that, bro.
Right. Jay, you done it? You got something you want to sell? You done?
I don't know. Hey, y'all said it all.
Okay. Man, that brings us to our next topic, man. What was your perception of family compared to your experience with family? Meaning, what was you taught family should be, and what did you come to figure out family actually was? Like once you got older and you kind of been through life a little bit, you got to know everybody, their personalities. Was your family who you thought they was, and what you expected family to be? JB's talk to me.
Yeah, it's. I won't say I was actually taught like, hey, this is what a family should look like. Cause like the way I grew up, I really grew up with my grandmother. I didn't, grow up kind of typical mother father household. I really lived with my grandmother. So my version of it was kind of different. Like, my perception of it growing up, I never really thought about it like in the traditional sense. So I had friends that I seen they parents was together and they was more traditional, mom everybody was in the household. But I guess at the time I just never thought about it as a kid growing up in it. But I can say as I got older, I wanted the mother, father, like, to be with my wife and to raise my kids all together. I didn't want a separated household. So that's how I really grew up. Like, and well, that's my mindset now. It's like I want everybody together. I don't want a separated household. Like, I don't want my kids to grow up how I grew up. Even though, like, nothing was wrong with how I grew up, I'm still happy. But it's just, this is what I want right now.
Okay. Boo boy, what you say?
I mean, there's a lot to say on that, though. I feel, growing up, my people kind of showed me what reality was, though. I mean, because it had semi structure, but it also was major chaos. So, like, I already knew the way my parents dealt, what to expect being with opposite sex from the woman's perspective and the man's perspective. Because I sat down and I talked to my mother plenty of night. I wasn't one of those kids that had to. No, I could sit down and talk to my mom about whatever or get an understanding with her as far as she can explain it to me how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understood what I was, getting into, but I also grew up in a, grandmother household, mom and daddy in the plea, like long story short. So It was a awkward twist on my behalf too. But I knew what I didn't want my kids growing up in, so it kind of goes off of what Jay Beast was just stating. The wife, man, wife, husband, and the children under one household, making it work, making it. You know what I'm saying? Showing your kids, it's bigger than the program. We're not as big. We're not bigger than the program. I mean. At the end of the day, you gotta have structure and balance to get where we're going. It's gonna be ups and downs, but you gotta go through something to say you've been through it. You feel me? You just can't cross the other side and say, "Oh, I know what you're talking about," because empathy ain't for everybody. Some people gotta really experience certain things to understand. Oh, I can relate to your feeling when you say a certain thing. So when I became an adult, yeah, it was just man, you know, at the end of the day, it works itself out if you really want to work it out. If you don't waste nobody's time. Get out of the way and don't make it hard for the next person to get out your way when it comes to certain things. It might be a broken home, but at the same time, y'all gonna destroy each other trying to make that last. Y'all want happiness amongst each other, and we can't get that. What's the point of me holding you hostage and you holding me hostage? It's like we gonna destroy each other at the end of the day. Or in some cases, some do heal. I can't say that for all people, all situations, because some people can work through major disasters and catastrophes within their relationship. But some people, it's just like some lines you can't cross with certain people. So it's like, why hold each other hostage off for the sake of when it's like we got to make it happen either way. But I still feel traditional ring, wife, husband at the end of the day at some point in your relationship, and raise them kids to understand it's going you gonna go through a lot to get a lot, and that's my point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I feel like, man, when I was a kid, the way I perceived family was like, man, you supposed to love people to the death, like to the end, to the casket top drop. You know what I mean? And I lived like that for like the vast majority of my life. Like family members, yeah, look, no matter what, I might get mad at you and want to do you something myself. But then if somebody else will want to do you something, then I'm gonna come jump out there because it's family. That's all. My perception of family was that's family. Blood is thicker than water. You love your people. You hug your people. That's how it's supposed to go. And I ain't never even grew up like huggish or to be the one to be like I love you or something like that. You know what I mean? That way I ain't grow up like that. Like my father always told like my daddy, man. I'm saying father like I'm proper or something. My daddy always told me like, forgive people. You gotta forgive people if you want to be forgiven. You hear me? So I kind of like with that being said, like that's how I treated family. Then I grew up. I matured. Once I matured, I saw that after a certain point, you can't really too much worry about the family that you came from. You got to start focusing on the family that you're trying to build. Like once you over a certain age, I say 25 is no longer about the family you came from. It's about the family you trying to build. You hear me? And I spent well over 4 5 years over that time limit up until my 30s. Like early 30s, like living that ride or die for family lifestyle, man. Look, you gotta let people be who they is. Once y'all grow up, those personalities is different. Everybody gets set in their ways. You know what I mean? You can't expect somebody to love you to love you to the end whenever they got their own family now. They got kids, they got a significant other. You know what I mean? You just they cousin, they uncle, they aunt, they brother, or sister, or whatever relation. Now they got a wife, they got a husband, they got a kid. Those people are more important than them. You hear me? So I feel like my perception versus what it really was like. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a fantasy. It was your childhood. once you grow up, that unconditional love go away, especially when you a man. You hear me? And you need to act accordingly. You hear me? So I mean, that's what I see. Anybody else got something they want to see?
I mean, I say something else on the topic. You know, it's just hit a little different though when, okay, you for example, son, me and you, fam, you showed me what that was as far as my life experience. But there's also other family members, the way they treated certain people in the family and did certain things. I also seen snakes in the family. So it hit different for me when the reality struck and I realized it don't matter. Certain people just get treated different than others. Don't matter family or not, foe or not, business or not. Certain people just got more than others. Like that's their favorite. Cool. But reality hit me young, son. So I kind of saw because my mom and daddy was together until my pops passed. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I know what a marriage looks like. I know what till death do you part look like. I know what struggle times and up and downs in relationships look like because I witnessed my parents do it firsthand. And I know it takes a whole lot. So I just knew when it was time for me to get serious, that's what it was gonna take, brother. It was gonna take for me to have structure and compassion and discernment and a whole lot more to provide for a family. Because when you decide to provide for a family, you taking on multiple personalities that you gotta, at the end of the day, dictate for the ultimate outcome. So, you gotta really know what you're willing to take on. And I ain't talking about no halfway daddy. I'm talking about a full time daddy. You giving all you got to every aspect of it. Like these children need these fathers for examples, right or wrong, up or down. You need to teach your kid what they shouldn't want to be or what they want to be. My daddy wasn't this, my daddy wasn't that, so I know I don't want to be like that. I'm gonna treat my child different. That's the embracement. These fathers need to do better, and these mothers need to do better. Letting these fathers take some part in these kids' lives. These men need to really step up because these kids ain't asked to be in these situations. So these kids need some type of guidance and structure from broken homes and united homes. These kids need help. Give it to them. And that's my point on that, man.
Jay, you got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, for sure. So we go. Who's more, mom or your wife?
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say your wife is the more important one because that's the person you live with like in your adult years. Of course, once you get to the point where able to have a wife, that's really gonna be the number one. Like your wife and your mom, they might have disagreements. At the end of the day, you gonna end up siding with your wife 9 times out of 10, because you know how they say, happy wife, happy life. So yeah, I definitely side on the wife side.
Okay, boy, talk to me.
I mean, yeah, from the point, from B's point, it's always gonna be the woman in your life at the end of the day. Because a son's true love is always gonna be his mama first, and a daughter's true love is always gonna be their daddy. if those people are in their life and really give them the understanding of what a man and a woman look like, or example, I should say, of what a man and a woman look like and the standards of. You know what I'm saying? But when you come into your adulthood, you looking for that replica of your mom, but the person you can go above and beyond with. You ain't just looking for no. You give me similarities of that woman that showed me what unconditional love was first. Now I'm gravitating to you, and I see I want this in you. I see this in you. I like that. That's what I yeah. That's so when it comes down to it, it's gonna always be that woman because your mama gonna grow old and go one day. Somebody gotta see you through that pain. Somebody gotta be there to, yeah, it's gonna be all right, baby. Hold your head up. We got you. We here for you. Comfort you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head straight. Give you a reason to pick your head up when you lose that first love. Cause your mama gonna always be your first love. And your wife, your girl, they're gonna always be your second. Until they do something dirty, depending on what type of you is. Cause some people put their daughter second. But yeah, your mama. Nah, your wife, yeah, because it's up to your daddy. It was your daddy's position to give your mama that role. It's not your job to fulfill your daddy's duties. It's your job to fulfill another man's daughter's duties. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my point on that.
Yeah, I say the same, dog. Once you grown, I mean, you still give your mother respect, the utmost respect. But I mean, once you grown, you kind of and you married and you starting a family, you gotta put your wife first because that's the person you go home with. So you gonna take your mom's side, you go home with your wife. How is that gonna work? Even if now, if your mom is right, your mom is right. Your wife gotta understand. She'll be your wife by her having understanding, compassion, compromise. You hear me? If she's meant to be your wife, if she's wrong, she'll understand. Cause you don't give, I wouldn't give, no, I wouldn't give if she was right and my mom was wrong, I tell my mom you wrong, she right. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna compromise with my wife after I tell her you wrong. Let's talk about it. Think about this. Look at it like this. If someone did this to you or this happened to you, how would you feel? Would you feel they was wrong or they was right? But in the case that my wife is right, I'm gonna tell my mother the same thing. What is you talking about? Look at this. If it don't make because when I see respect, age don't matter. I give a 14-year-old the same respect I give an 84-year-old as long as he's right. Because I'm going to keep it real with myself. I don't really care about how the world view it. I'm going to keep it real with myself. You hear me? So as I see it, so all right, let's pose this question. If your mom and your wife had a fight, not physical, but verbal, how would you deal with that? Boot boy, talk to me. JB's talk to me.
Yeah, I actually been in that situation before. Uh, Man, I tell you, it's actually pretty difficult to deal with because you might have your mom actually might be right in that case, and she just your wife is expecting you to side with her no matter what. So it's a bad situation to be in because now you in the middle of something and you don't necessarily want to pick a side, but both sides is asking you to pick a side. So I say the way I actually dealt with it was kind of just trying to be neutral, and I really just got attacked from both sides. So I guess I really didn't deal with it.
So they instead of them beating each other up, they beat you up.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. Both of them started attacking me.
Hey, so you dealt with it by letting them. You dealt with it by letting them take their frustrations out on you.
Yeah, exactly.
All
And
right,
I
so
mean, and sometimes that's just what you gotta do.
hey, it worked, you know. Hey, Boo Ball, what you think, man? What you got?
Hey man, me personally, I stand, I stand more with you on the aspect. I'm gonna come in and lay down law. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Whoever mad, they mad. Feelings don't matter when y'all both being ignorant towards each other. Because if I gotta step into the situation and find a compromise in the aspect of the matter, then what the hell was y'all doing? Somebody trying to be right. Nah. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Let me hear the story. Okay. You wrong for saying that, you wrong for doing that. Now you shouldn't talk to my mama like that. Don't act like that with my mom. Whoever. I'm more on you, I'm more with you on that topic, brother. Ain't no aid to B's point. You say happy wife, happy life. No, beast, happy man, happy land. If your woman keep you happy, you'll give your woman everything she desires and more. If you can, that'll inspire you to do more because you ain't got no reason to pay nobody no attention or do more or want more because your woman got you happy, not you got her happy. That's my opinion on that. As long as my woman keep me there to the standards of, baby, I get you and give you whatever I can, and if I can, I go get two jobs to get it for you, cause you deserve it, cause you keeping me what. But that's just me on that, brother. You know, that's my point.
That what I, man, that's how I see it too. I'm like, man, whoever wrong gonna be wrong, whoever right gonna be right. Because if I'm wrong in any situation, I ain't gonna lie, with my personality in the midst of it, I'm gonna be like, F it all. I don't really give up. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna think about it like, man, y'all children, like, we none of us need to even be arguing. But let me be completely honest. These days, I ain't gonna lie, and this gonna sound crazy. Yeah. My bad. This gonna sound crazy though, but I would, I would, I would, I wouldn't even have that situation because I don't like. I talk to my mom all the time, you hear me? But we so far away, we wouldn't even have that problem. So it's like, at these days, I would deal with it by just not dealing with it. Like, shit, that's kind of why I got a little distance in between us, you hear me? But look, though, I
But
mean,
it
that's
hit
all I got. Every say it
it
again.
hit a little different. My bad if I cut you off. My bad if I cut you off. But I just want to throw this in real quick. It hit a little different when you experience it. You feel me? Because when Pops died, Mom came stay with my girl, and I was the structure. But the problem was nobody wanted to tell what's really going on because this person don't want to make it make me get on this person ass, and this person don't want to see me get on that person ass. So they telling me bits and pieces. So I'm getting false information or half information, and I'm sideways laying low on a misunderstood situation. So I done been through it, but yeah, so my girl gonna still have to be understood in some way, and it takes me to understand her, despite how my mom. Because at the end of the day, somebody gonna be mad. And if it takes both of y'all to be mad to understand, I'm not going for this. Y'all need to figure it out. Then y'all both gonna be mad right now. Y'all gonna stop putting me through this because this is nonsense. We adults, we can find compromise and ground. And I mean, we can find a compromise and really stand on a certain level with each other when it comes to certain things. But that pick a side shit, man, I ain't going for that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And if I got my own side, well, so be it. But that's me. And that's all I got.
Right, right. See, hey, look, I don't know if y'all watched this, but I remember one time watching an episode of the family Medea, the Payne house, the houses of Payne. You hear me? So the little dude, Curtis' little son Calvin, Curtis' little son Calvin was his wife or fiance, the new girl, the one after Miranda, Laura. You hear me? Was always getting into it with Ella, and Curtis was like, "Man, you gotta handle your house. You see, me and CJ wouldn't be going through this because we know how to handle our house. I feel like that's all it is. You got to know how to handle your house. When that happens, you got to put your foot down. Like that's what I'm saying. What I do, I be like, y'all both tripping. Look, you toe up, you down bad. What y'all gonna do? And then if they can't get along, I would keep them away from each other. Like this, my wife, she gotta be in my house. This my mama. I'll come to your house and see you. You know what I mean? Or like in your situation, I understand. Y'all always in the same home, so you had to deal with it intensely. You know what I mean? So I understand that. But I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, let's move on real quick. Hey, this is a good topic for us, man. Yeah, she's so gorgeous. Sometimes most mother-in-laws can be very spiteful to their son's wife or significant other, or maybe even spiteful to her own son and take things out. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Sometimes that be the situation, so that's why I be feeling like it's unnecessary. We just don't need to even be. You know? Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you for that comment, though. So we gonna move on. Hey, us admin, this is a good question. As a man, what is a comfortable yearly salary? JB, talk to me.
Hey, I'm gonna say part of it depend on where you live, but at this point, it gotta be six figures. I say starting. Well, I could say you could be comfortable like below that amount, but I say maybe 70,000 at the minimum, because you gotta think like I don't want to be just working to live. I actually want to work and be able to afford the things I want. I don't want to just keep dreaming about a Porsche. I want to buy a Porsche. So, and with that in mind, I feel like to be comfortable, you should have, like I said, minimum 70,000, but six figures, 100,000 and up would be your ideal goal, and I would call that comfortable. I would say comfortable. Being comfortable is when you got everything you want and you don't really have to worry. You actually comfortable. So I mean, hey, what you think on it?
Okay, okay. Who boss?
Mm, I'm kind of on the same standards with beats on that. I ain't the person that need. I don't need a whole bunch of millions of dollars to provide. I mean, to survive in life. It's just a few $100,000 to get me by, a little comfortable. My wife comfortable. My kids will be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it just
We
all
saying
really
we
boils
saying
down.
like how much we saying we saying how much you need to make yearly. Like how much should a man make yearly to say that he feel
I answered that. I said a couple of 100,000 at least. For a real comfortable life, everything taken care of from top to bottom from a standard base. A couple of 100,000. Some say from 70 to 100. I see why you asked, but yeah, at least 100 to 200,000 in my opinion. I just sum it up in that nature. because it's to be comfortable, cover all aspects on the standard base, and have a little spending change. Yeah, because price of life going up every day. By the time our kids grow up, gas gonna probably be $20 a gallon if it ain't all electric standard. You know what I'm saying? Like gas out the way, not all in electricity. Yeah, I don't. But still, the point is a couple of $100 to $200,000 a year minimum. For the standard man in America is like that should be your goal, your set. Anything under that is survival. That is comfort, in my opinion.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna say I got for a single man. I think the idea of 160 like that would be, but in reality, I feel like you know what I'm saying. Like 200 to 25K is what he would want to make, but in reality, he probably makes 150 from the standpoint of the career guy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, then say a single man average substantial life anywhere from 60 to, you know what I'm saying? For a married man, I think make come household. Most of the wife doesn't work. I think 150 to 250K a year on his own specifically. And then years ago when our parents were raising a different number because things was still a buck and some change. So yeah. That's I definitely feel like all right, bet. Well, look, somebody take over real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of aiming in the same direction when it comes to it. It's like at least 100 to the hundred, $200,000 for basic standards should be a average man goal. Now, if you're doing anything outside of legitimate business, then to each his own. But I'm talking hard working labor. That should be the ultimate set price for retirement type lifestyle. Now, if you want to live a lavish lifestyle, you're gonna need to do a whole lot more, and it's gonna require a whole lot more. But I'm cool with just enough to get by, man. I just want to live how I want to live. So yeah, what you got on that beef?
Yeah, it's pretty much just like how you saying, because of course everybody would prefer to be just rich. That's comfortable whenever you once you rich. But if we thinking about just being, a typical like career comfortable, then yeah, I say yeah, between 100,000 and 200,000 definitely. You could get you a nice house, you could get your car, you could make everything happen.
Yeah, like for real. But like I said, everybody chasing that lavish lifestyle. So this right here is for the men that just want to be, stand up men in they people life. Like aim for that, and you'll be considered a real deal, like stand up guy to your people that you provide for. The rest is the
Yeah,
rest.
cause
But yeah.
yeah, cause that's the whole goal is every man really want to be a provider.
Right. Okay. All right, so we'll wrap that up. We'll move on, man. We got an update for you. The David case. If you don't know David was a mini bird. He had a multi-day preliminary hearing. He faced his first degree red rum. Y'all know what that means. Commission of lewd acts with a minor and mutilation of human remains against 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The medical examiner confirms that stab wounds and extreme decomposition had happened. High volume forensics and digital evidence ties him directly to the crime. It was alleged that it was a career saving was exposed that led up to this. What y'all think about this? Boo ball, what you think?
I mean, do they have him locked up, or is he like roaming around?
Nah, he locked up. He locked up.
Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah. He was free at one point, but then they had picked him up. Yep. And he never bonded out.
Well, shit, I feel like, man, look, if money made you did that to somebody and you ain't even touch it yet, yeah, you need to be put away because your mind corrupted. A person like that that's willing to do something for some money that they ain't even touch their bank account and pay taxes on and fully own yet, man, wait till you see them with some money. And I don't really know much about the dude, but if the dude really did it was intentions to a child, then he deserved everything he about to get thrown at him behind the music career. Like, why you couldn't just take your lick on the other side with all this money you was about to make? You could have found another way out, but now you ain't got no way out because all the time been a pending investigation on you doing that to a minor. Like they got the evidence of her in your car on your property, and all. Like, bruh, what you think them people was gonna think? That's like me, stealing candy from the store and telling them folks, yeah, I'm taking some candy. It's like, bruh, you on camera, you like you everything ties back to the man. So yeah, I feel like a predator gotta get preyed on too. And that's my opinion on that.
JB's, what you think, brother?
Yeah. Hey, first thing I kind of think about it kind of remind me of R. Kelly. He was doing similar things to R. Kelly. He just got caught early and he went well beyond and killed the girl. I mean, my fault. He unalived the girl.
Yeah, beast. I'm about to say. I'm about to
Yeah,
say Kels wasn't going that for a beast. I'm about to say
yeah,
not to cut your statement off, but Kels wasn't going that.
yeah. So it's still crazy to think somebody of his stature. Like I believe his biggest song got like over 100 million views. Like dude was well on his way. And I said from the rumor they said all this stuff really went down because she supposedly threatened to expose their relationship. And like Boot Boy said, it could have been another way out, but no matter what, I mean, having that type of relationship, you need to be in jail anyway.
But look at the outcome on the outcome anyway. Look at the end game when it came to that, brother. You still ended up in jail. So why you just say take your lit?
Yep. Hey, but I say I look at it like this, man. It was a little dude out here doing something that he shouldn't have did. He was like 21. She was like 14. Or I think at the time he probably like 19 or 20 because she been unalive for a while now and he been in a jail. So yeah, dog, I feel like he right where he supposed to be. The people say that they got the evidence linking him directly to the crime. So I mean, once you at that point, like they got like you caught red-handed, like dog, go ahead take a plea deal, get it over with. He pleading that he not guilty. Like say, dog, if it turns out that he not guilty, I'll get back on him and apologize. But I mean, a circle is a circle and a
Hey,
square is a square.
and did you know though that he met her on Discord and on a streaming? Yeah, like the relationship started in front of all of these people that was in the chat streaming with them, and it built from there. And he trying to hide it.
Nah, they definitely got some scumbags out here, dog. They definitely got some scumbags out here that deal with a child. Like they got scumbags out here that deal with mentally ill people. They got scumbags out here that deal with homeless people. They got scumbags out here that deal with paraplegics. They got scumbags out here that deal with uh man, all type of people, dog. Like, and that's the devil. That's the devil taking over the the world, bro. Whenever you see stuff like that happening to where it's like some wild stuff that people try to normalize, man, that's the devil. If you don't believe in God and the devil, whenever you see something that evil, you gotta believe in something. You know what I'm saying? You gotta believe in something. If you don't think that that's evil and that the devil is real, then I don't know. That says something about who you is as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff, man. And I don't mean to make it religious. It's just like at what point do you have a moral code and values and standards and like at what point do you cross the line? You know what I'm saying? Like at what point is too far? Like come on now, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got anything else doing?
Nah, that's really it on it. I
No,
mean, we could keep up with it because the case just started and the trial, the hearings and everything for it just started. So we could keep up with updates on it.
Oh, we definitely gonna come back with it. We got that Nolan Wells update coming Monday. So y'all tune in 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You hear me? With that said, we're gonna move on, man. We got our sports section. Man, we was just talking the other night, man. LeBron James, where was he gonna go? The top three teams was the Heat, the 76ers, and yeah, I forgot the other team, but it was another team. But he went to the 76ers. You know what I'm saying?
no.
He what you said?
I said I think the
Right?
third team you were talking about was the Warriors.
I think so. I think so. Yep. No, it wasn't the Warriors. The Warriors actually wasn't on that list. If I find it before we finish this conversation, I'll remind you. But he accepted a massive pay cut for a title run. He explicitly stated this is his last decision before retiring. A massive offseason trade for Jalen Brown helped secure him. What y'all think, man? That ball went to the 76ers. Did y'all have any idea that that's where he would go?
No, actually, I had no clue. Uh, I said most of the rumors was talking about Golden State, and the only side of that that really made sense was that he was already in Cali, and because he was at the Lakers. He just up and move, a few hours north. Nah, I guess a lot of people wasn't expecting him to move across the country and go to Philly. And if he was gonna move across the country, everybody thought he was going back to Cleveland. But like to other people's point about that, he already went to Cleveland, and I think they already got a ring over there in Cleveland. Um, but with this pop being like his, I believe he signed a 2-year deal. But with this being like his last couple years playing, I might actually have to go to one of the games to see him, cause he one of the people I never seen play. I kind of did that with Tom Brady. I got to see him before he retired in his last season. So I try to do that with LeBron too.
Okay. Boo ball, what you got?
I mean, shit on that right there. I was right and I was wrong. I was wrong about saying he was gonna team up with either KD or Curry, but I was right about saying he was gonna put himself around superstars so he don't have to work hard. Cause to my point I made the other day, if Miami taught LeBron nothing, it taught him how to win. Now he got the recipe to win. That's why he went man and B and Max. It's like what? That's the cakewalk. Left Bronny in LA to do his own thing. Cause he secured Bronny a nice little deal too before he got up out their way. But I feel like it's legacy, like we were talking about the other night. It's all about legacy. So he gonna go get with a great team and just give them championship experience. Show them how to, because the 76ers ain't trash. They ain't, they know how to make it to the playoffs. They just don't know how to survive in the playoffs. And LeBron is that missing piece, that formula, that recipe that they missing. And B gonna finally get him a ring. Max is gonna creep up on him a ring, if not this year, next year, because they still gotta build some type of chemistry. But yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Oh yeah, my bad. So yeah, man. Hey, I feel like this. Long as my dog got a home, that's all. Throw a dog a bone. You dig? Man, look, I thought the ball. Hey, the list was Miami, Cleveland, 76ers. He chose the 76ers. Hey, man, I ain't watched the Phillies since Allen Iverson, but I'm gonna watch him now. Joel Embiid, I don't really like him, but I'm gonna tell you this though. If you want to talk centers in the NBA right now, he the most. He the one who get the most reckless when he ready to. Yes, Lord. And if he get like that while LeBron now, man, look, man, mama, that's that man. You hear me? Oh God, I
But
think
LA,
LeBron.
he stayed hurt.
Nah, but I think LeBron about to show y'all this year, this NBA season and the one after that. He about to show y'all that Miami Heat, that Cleveland Cavaliers flag. You hear me? He about to you see how soft he was playing these last few years? He wasn't playing like that because he don't got it no more. That ball playing like that because he was saving it for this. He was saving it for the last hoorah. I promise you. Man, there's two athletes on this planet that's still alive today that we need to cherish. That's Tom Brady and LeBron James. And before he go, I promise you, he show you why. That's the reason that boy had. That's why he switched it up. They ain't playing right in the LA. He a monster. He a predator. He a predator. He can smell blood in the water. So what he gonna do? He gonna jump in that water. That's why he hit Philly. Yeah, everybody thought he was gonna go to the Warriors. Why I go to the Warriors? They already said I got my rings too easy. I'm gonna go pick up. Not really. There ain't no bums over there in Philly, but I'm gonna go pick up some people that don't really get that type of attention. I'm gonna go over there and show you how to make them shine. You hear me? I'm gonna go show you how to make them shine. They did the same thing with time. said that the only reason time was time because of the receivers. Man, you give time any receiver, he make him a star. You give LeBron any 4 men, he gonna make them champions. Man, look, hey, man, is Michael Jordan cool? Michael Jordan cool.
I disagree.
Michael Jordan ball. That Michael Jordan ball head, he cool. But man, it ain't another man, ain't no another nigga hit the NBA like LeBron James, man. Shout out Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, what's that boy name? Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. Man, this was all legends. Dr. J, you hear me? Clyde Drexler. Man, shout out all them boys. But when it
They
comes to
ain't,
real,
they ain't, I thought you said R.I.P. to all of them. My bad. I'm about to say they ain't unalive. My bad. The shout out came at the end. My bad. My bad. Go ahead.
yeah, you know, man, listen, man, nah, dog, Keon, listen to me, dog. LeBron, these last 2 years, LeBron about to, and he might play more than that. We just know right now for sure he got two. These last 2 years, LeBron about to play all that time he been doing all that resting and that soft play. Man, he wasn't doing that because he don't got it. Man, that boy been saving it for these last 2 years. That boy been saving it for these last 2 years. Yes, Lord. That boy about to put on a he about to put on a clinic. He about to put on a clinic, dog. That man about to show y'all. Hey, I promise, hey, I bet anybody two, three, four, $5,000 that LeBron get another ring before he retired. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Man, that's my thoughts on Bronny though. And shout
I
out
mean, I
Bronny, man.
mean, it's already scripted. It's already scripted for him to get another ring before he go. That's why he moved from one big market to another big market. You know what I'm saying? It's scripted for him to get one more. He just won't surpass Jordan. Because then that's gonna end the whole GOAT conversation.
I don't believe that, dog. I don't feel like it's scripted. I feel like the mob make bets and they influence the people individually, but I don't feel like it's scripted all around. Oh, these
It's
dudes go out there
scripted.
and give me all, man. Them dudes go play, them dudes get injured, them dudes sacrifice for them games. If they were scripted, they wouldn't go that hard.
Man, them boys know at the end of the day they in it for the money. A championship would be wonderful. But at the end of the day, the championship ain't gonna pay my bills for the rest of my life. I need to collect my bag. Them boys getting paid to do certain things, to act certain ways. As you point was earlier, the influence certain, but all it takes to influence is one or two people on the team or one or two people on the court because that one or two people throw the whole dynamic of the game if they influence certain way. That's scripted. If the owner tell you go out there and miss all your shots, or go 3 for 12 when we know you're a
Yeah,
40, I mean a 70%
yeah,
shooter.
hold up real quick. Hold up. Nah, Sonya, this the right channel. This just a different panel. The panel you looking for come on in about 45 minutes. You hear me? Yeah, well about 40 minutes. The ASI panel and at 8:45 Pacific. So that's like 11:45 Eastern. You hear me? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, finish up, dog. My bad.
Nah, I was just saying, when it came to that, I don't think, because people want to keep talking about the GOAT debate, but they got to realize that there's two different GOATs. And they want to make it a debate on who the biggest GOAT, but it's like if you look at it for what it is, if LeBron get what another ring, he have what the same amount with Kobe. So the ring is the only thing that's gonna secure Jordan in the GOAT debate for the next 40 years. If LeBron so happened to get another two rings before he retired, they can't do nothing but give it up to LeBron for his accomplishments. 25, 20 plus, 25 plus years in the game, Played first NBA player to play with their son on the same team. Been to the conference finals and the NBA finals half of his damn career. Got
Scoring
Buku rings and
champion.
Buku franchises.
Scoring champion.
Le, yeah, you know what I'm saying? LeBron jersey. LeBron gonna have about four jerseys retired at four different teams when it's all said and done. For sure, Miami, Cleveland, LA, and she pretty sure Philly, because with Embiid, it's gonna be a cakewalk. LeBron James don't play basketball off of his body, his ability. LeBron James play basketball off of the understanding of manipulating the game. Or he can't stop him from shooting. We'll run that play back again until he stop you. Or he can't stop the big man from scoring. We'll keep giving it to the big man. LeBron play to win. You don't play to for the, you know. So
Hey,
yeah, that's what makes them two different
this
groups.
year, look, this year in Philly, you about to see that Miami Heat, the Wayne Wade LeBron, where that boy flying up with no regard for human life. Mama, that's that man. Man, hey, look, I promise,
I don't
LeBron
see
been
it.
playing.
I don't
Man,
see it.
that boy been playing. He been playing medically lately, but that's only because he trying to save up for this right here. This about to be his last hoorah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, this about to be his last hoorah. That boy about to go out like Rambo. Stop playing.
LA, LA, you gotta understand, he surrounded himself around stars for a reason. Because he's not trying to work hard to get it. He's trying to go out with a smooth sail. You got him beat. You got him you got
You
him
talk. You
beat
talking?
one of the like one huh?
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna say it after.
You got him beat one of the best big men in the NBA right now, if not the best. You got Tyrese Maxey, a point guard that understands the game and can go in and get down there and get a bucket for himself. And also could play the role if he had two shots second, to the
And what
like
point is you
like
making?
yeah,
Look,
LeBron
Steph.
can go there for look,
Wait. Yo,
uh,
what point is you making? Steph Curry had Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all the other people. Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen,
my,
Dennis
my,
Rodman,
my
Bill
point the
Cartwright.
point
What is you
the
talking
point
about?
I'm making is the point I'm making is he not going there for no big showdown. He going there so it's an easy win. Now he not trying to go out like Jordan with all this on his body and putting up. He already got most of the NBA titles under his name, if not first, second, or third in that department. So what is he chasing right now? Accolades are set. The way they cutting these boys' games, them boys will never pass LeBron up in the scoring title. Because LeBron came from the era of playing 82 games, 84 games, however many it is. These boys only playing up to 62 to six, enough to be can classify as MVP. 65 games maybe. You missing like y'all never beat the scoring title with that type of career. LeBron got 25 years. Yeah, but he not going there. My point was he not going there for like the over LeBron. He going there for the wise LeBron. This is chess, not checkers. Y'all can't stop him be when he get going. Tyrese got a whole different look at the game. I can work with that. And I got a couple of shooters on the side. That's all I need. Because they ain't gonna be able to not guard LeBron. He just need key pieces that's gonna be effective. But that's my
Right.
point on that. I'm all
Okay, man. Well, look, let's go out with music, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and get out the way, man. Look, I got Future, the real me. He dropped it on the 10th of this month. You hear me? It's his first album in 4 years. Man, y'all go check that out, dog. Future, the real me. He just dropped it. It's the first album in 4 years. A lot of people saying that it remind him of Dirty Sprite. So well, like a Dirty Sprite remix type thing. So y'all tell me what you think. Boot boy, what you got?
music wise, man. I really ain't been listening to that new. I mean, Don Trip. really been like far as rap. Dying Trip been my favorite, like my top listener. Him and always Kevin. But as far as music, yeah, I don't really have yeah. I don't look for no new releases. Dying Trip, y'all. Go put on some Dying Trip if you want some real conscience like music. He got his days and his ways, but he got some great songs. Him and Starlito. But yeah.
JB's, what you got for me?
Man, I've been listening to Tory Lanez because dude is like the most talented person in jail right now. He dropped a new album pretty recently.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a couple
Hey,
a
your
few days
reason.
ago he dropped a new album. But yeah, hey, that's my pick because I've been a long time fan. So,
Hey man, if a lot of y'all don't know, man, most of us, all of us up here really rap. We all do music. Everybody up here, dog. One night we gonna have to do a cipher or something as the entertainment on here. You hear me? Yes, Lord. We all, man, we all do a little music. That's why we throw the music out there, give y'all something to go jam. Yeah, yeah, Hey, the ASI panel coming up at 8:45 Pacific and 11:45 Eastern as 10:45 uh Central. Yeah, my bad. So man, y'all got anything else y'all want to see?
Hey, I want to know why B said that was his reason for listening to Tory.
What
no, I
the
ain't say that was
emotional?
my reason. I,
Yeah,
you
you
must have
said
misheard
because
me.
you're the most talented nigga in jail right now.
No, that was just a side note I threw in there that hey, I'm just letting y'all know he the most talented person that's locked up right now.
Hey, matter of
That
fact,
kind
y'all
of
think
sprung me
Tory
right
did it?
there.
Hey, look, let's talk about that. Y'all think Tory did it?
What? Shot Megan?
Man, you watch the words you use, but yeah.
I mean,
I,
Paul Megan?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
man, that man ain't do that, man. At the end of the day, man, they said it was broken glass that girl stepped on. But I don't think they did it. I mean, he did it. I just think that's a way of controlling them because really, it was really disciplining them, son. Because if you go back, Tory showed everybody how to make $1 million in less than a minute on some music digital. Yeah,
Man,
Tory showed everybody the structure and yeah.
that's what I feel like they were hating on Tory. Y'all know Tory had just popped off that coronavirus going live, them home concerts and stuff. And Tory was getting that bag off of that. So I think that's why. Hey, remember the mute whenever you're not talking. I think that's why I think Kelsey did it, dog. The friend. I think Kelsey did it because the stories got consistencies all based off of it was a female doing the pum pum. You know what I'm saying? The pow pow, the fa fa. That's the real sound. Yeah, fa fa. Yeah, my bad, man. Look, I got a little loose right there, real quick, boy. Yeah, me man, happy on the cool, man. JB's, what you think, dog?
man, it ain't enough evidence saying that he did anything. I mean, whatever fragment she had in her foot, to me, it ain't enough evidence. And to be the time he got, even if he did something like that, it ain't. Cause to me, if you trying to pile somebody at close range like that, you would have hit your target. So I feel
Man,
like
would have left
yeah,
a hole the size of a cereal bowl.
that's what I'm saying. The whole thing just don't even make sense. Like to give that man that much time for something that it ain't really conclusive evidence. It's all hearsay.
And they go
Man, I
back to
think
the system we were talking about earlier, chopped up charges. Like I say, I promise you, because that man put on live, like Sunset during COVID, when everybody was streaming was at all time high. That man displayed how the industry worked in front of millions of people and made buku people money by putting in $1. By putting in $1, everybody got to share something and everybody got paid off of that. And them folks had the discipline Tory. That was just the cover story. Cause you ain't never heard nothing about that since Tory been convicted for what he be going through. That's me. Or like I on that.
right. Well, I mean, if that's all y'all got, man, we gonna go on wrap up for the night. Yes, Lord, appreciate you, son. Y'all, hey, look, even if you spectating, you hear me? Man, hit that like button for us, man. Turn us up. Y'all don't forget y'all can tune in to Controversial Conversations podcast every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You hear me? And with that being said, we gonna wrap up. Man, it was a good show, man. We'll see y'all next time. Everybody, ASI panel coming up in 25 minutes. Tap in, you hear me? Yes, Lord. And good night. Have a good night. Be safe.